The 1950s was an era of chrome, whitewall tires, and car designs that looked like they were styled by aircraft engineers with a serious tailfin obsession. It was the golden age of American automotive excess, where performance was measured not in lap times, but in how many inches of your car could park outside of your suburban home. At the time, if you wanted speed, you bought a two-door coupe, preferably one with a name like Thunder, Hawk, or something equally dramatic. And then in 1957, AMC, the little car company that could, decided to turn all of that on its head by launching what was, by all accounts, one of the fastest production sedans in America. This was the 1957 Rambler Rebel, a four-door family car that just so happened to be faster than a supercharged Ford Thunderbird and gave Chevrolet's fuel-injected Corvette a serious run for its money. Yet today, even with all of that, nobody seems to remember it. Now, to understand the Rebel, you need to understand AMC. This was a company formed in 1954 by a merger between Nash, Kelvinator, and Hudson, two brands that had been going toe-to-toe with the big three, Ford, GM, and Chrysler, for years and getting absolutely crushed. AMC knew it couldn't compete with Detroit's giants in a straight fight, so rather than trying to make yet another lineup of oversized chrome-laden lanyards, AMC's president, George W. Romney, decided to go in a different direction. Romney believed that America didn't need more full-sized cars. He thought the future lay in compact, lightweight cars that used less fuel, were easier to park, and still had enough performance to keep up with the traffic. What he didn't realize at the time was that he had inadvertently invented the blueprint for the muscle car 8 years before the Pontiac GTO was but a twinkle in John DeLorean's eyes. You see, most of AMC's cars at the time were small and practical. They were built for efficiency, not excitement. But in late 1956, someone at AMC had the absolutely brilliant idea to take their Rambler sedan and stuff a 327 cubic inch V8 under the hood. This wasn't just any V8 either. This was AMC's first in-house engine, and it was powerful. So powerful, in fact, that it had to be detuned for mass production. Even after AMC fitted it with a more conservative camshaft and lowered the compression ratio, it still made 255 horsepower, which in 1957 was an absolutely ridiculous amount of grunt for a four-door sedan. To put that into perspective, the same year, Chevrolet was selling the fuel-injected Corvette with a 283 cubic inch small block V8 making 283 horsepower, and yet the Rambler was just as fast, if not even faster, in a straight line. Now, if you were an American car buyer in 1957 and someone told you that a family sedan with 4 doors and a full bench seat could out-accelerate nearly anything else on the road, you would have laughed them out of the room. But the Rambler Rebel wasn't joking. With a curb weight of just 3,350 pounds, it was lighter than almost any other V8-powered sedan of the era. It came with either a 3-speed manual or a GM-sourced Hydra-matic automatic, and if you ordered the right combination, manual transmission, short rear-end gearing, and a heavy right foot, you could rock it from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 7.5 seconds. In 1957, that was absolutely blistering fast. To put that in perspective, the 1957 Ford Thunderbird Supercharged, which was the hottest Ford you could buy, did 0 to 60 in 8.5 seconds. The 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air with a 283 V8 took 9 seconds, and the 1957 Corvette fuel-injected 283 could just about match the Rebel at 7.5 seconds. But it was a tiny two-seater sports car, and that's why Motor Trend declared that the Rambler Rebel was the fastest American sedan of 1957. But here's the thing, the Rebel wasn't just fast, it was also affordable. The starting price was $2,786, which adjusted for inflation is about $30,000 today. That's cheaper than a modern Toyota Camry. If AMC had played their cars right, this thing could have been the blueprint for an entire generation of performance sedans. And yet, despite its record-breaking performance, the Rebel didn't sell well. In fact, AMC only managed to move 1,500 units before pulling the plug on the model entirely. So what happened? Well, for starters, no one knew about it. AMC didn't have the marketing budget to compete with the big three, so while Chevrolet was busy running full-page ads on the Bel Air in every newspaper in America, the Rebel was left to fend for itself. Then there was the four-door problem. You see, in the 1950s, no one wanted a performance sedan. If you were buying a fast car, you wanted something with two doors, a swoopy roofline, and the word coupe in the name. The idea of a four-door sleeper, a car that looked unassuming but packed serious firepower, was decades ahead of its time. And the final nail in the coffin was fuel injection. AMC had actually planned to offer the Rebel with mechanical fuel injection, making it one of the first mass-produced American cars with such a system. But the technology was just too expensive, unreliable, and difficult to produce, so they abandoned the idea at the last minute. If they had pulled it off, the Rebel could have beaten Chevy's Rochester fuel-injected 283 Corvette to the punch and made AMC a serious performance contender. Instead, it quietly disappeared from the showrooms, and by 1958, it was just a footnote in history. Today, when people talk about AMC, they usually mention the Javelin, the AMX, or the Rebel machine, all of which came years after the original 1957 Rebel. But make no mistake, this was the car that started it all. It was fast, affordable, and innovative. It predicted the muscle car era nearly a decade before Detroit caught on, and it proved that a four-door sedan didn't have to be boring. If you ever see one of these, which is unlikely considering only a handful still exist, stop and take a closer look, because in the annals of forgotten American performance cars, the 1957 Rambler Rebel might just be the greatest underdog of them all. But at the end of the video, please let me know what you guys thought of this video. What do you guys think of the car? And if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Now, if you guys did like this video, you'll most probably like most of my other stuff. So just go through my channel, see if there's something else to like. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers, eh?